seems that we are back online so far. I'm not sure if that is the case, but we have a Xiaolong Bao over here, and he is clearly being the distraction while I make sure that everything seems okay so far. We are back. Everyone is saying that we are back so far, which is good. Good. Yes, Xiaolong Bao, yes, thank you very much for providing that distraction. Thank you very much. He is quite a helpful helper when he needs to be, which is why I keep him around. He is one of the other long creatures that is of this household, as you may have noticed, and he is a very helpful helper and all that sort of thing. So thank you very much, Xiaolong Bao. He was making sure that the camera did not run away while I was making my Asian fixes and whatnot. I had to have an Asian moment there, as many of you may have guessed. But, well, thank you very much, Xiaolong Bao. Everyone give a hand for Xiaolong Bao. Yes, yay, Xiaolong Bao. Yes, he did a good job. Now go away. Thank you. Anyhow, back to the Grumpystream. Of course, this is not the Xiaolong stream. This is the Grumpystream, which means it has to have a grumpy character. What were we talking about again? I don't quite remember what we were going on about, nor what I was going on about before anything happened there. Someone help me. I'm drawing a blank here. Line! Line! I need my line. Where's my line? Well, we'll start from scratch. Welcome once again to the Grumpystream of 2018. It has only started an hour and a half late, but due to some technical difficulties, we are now back online. There we go. That is how I shall resume the stream. We are back online after an hour and a half of delay and whatnot, because apparently the so-called cable provider in this area had a little bit of a derp yesterday, and I have noticed a few things happening in terms of the connection that I have had with the intertubes. What happened was yesterday there was something of a massive outage that happened, and it resulted in it was the result, rather, of a wire being cut that was not supposed to have been cut. One that was buried deep underground, as far as I know, but someone had apparently found a way to get that deep underground and had cut it. But I think that it is a good segue so far to the next portion of the stream, which many of you would be familiar with, and of course I am referring to the drawing portion of the stream. So, if you shall excuse me for one moment while I quickly move the camera and make sure that I am not accidentally spilling my bottles or my wine. And before anyone says, no, I did not spill my wine on my machine, which is why it had that sudden blackout and all that. But I will be moving my camera very quickly and hopefully not giving you too much shaky cam or too much crotch cam in the process, so that I may be able to give you a lovely view of the drawings about to occur. So I shall be moving a couple things out of the way first. I shall move this out of the way. I shall be needing that a little later. I shall move this out of the way. I'll move the microphone here out of the way. There we are. There we are, that seems to be good enough. Alright, here we are. Goodness, I need to do more back stretches before the stream. There we are. Oops. Boom. There we are. All right. Now that we have a somewhat decent view of the drawing pad that I have set up here for myself, I shall take another sip of my wine first. There we are. Did I say wine? I meant grape juice. Of course, I am abiding by my resolutions. I am staying healthy this year. Nom, nom, nom. There we are. Now, for those of you that are not familiar, this portion of my stream is for my patrons that donate to a certain level, and monthly they get to request little scribbles from myself of things that they would like to see me draw. Now, of course, these scribbles come with 0% guarantee of any sort of artistic merit or quality, but, well, this is apparently what they enjoy paying for, so here you go. There you go, welcome my patron, thank you my patrons, rather, you are not welcome, and I am very sorry for the terrible art that you are about to get. Alright, well, let me quickly pull up the art list of things that I must destroy in terms of artistic talent. That is the wrong thing that I pulled up. I do not want to pull that up. I shall close that. Alright. First up we have Altorio. Altorio would like me to draw for him for this month's sketch. Can I get a picture of myself dressed up as Sherlock Holmes solving the mystery of the disappearance of Tien's sake hoard? I do quite rather like this idea. I am always trying to figure out exactly where my wine always goes, but I am unable to find the culprit. So, in this case, I shall enlist the help of Altorio Holmes to help me find out, or rather get to the bottom of this conundrum. So, in that case, I shall begin by drawing. Alright, here we are. I shall draw. There we are. We shall draw Altorio with a very spiffy hat, of course. Because Sherlock Holmes must have a spiffy sense of style, even if it is slightly dated. And perhaps Altorio over here will have a magnifying glass that they will be holding up. There we are. This is Sherbao Altorio Holmes right there. Sherbao Altorio Holmes. There we are. Have to stay all nice and dressed and whatnot again. There we are. And, of course, Altorio is searching for the clues as to the disappearance of my stash of wine. Now, we shall draw perhaps the missing stash of wine somewhere over here. Let me see where I can do that. I probably do that over here, of course. We have the wine that used to be here. I shall outline. It is now gone. No one knows where it went, which is a very, very big travesty for me. But have no fear. Sherlock Altorio is here. And then, of course, we shall have perhaps like this very nondescript box of sorts over here, because it's a very nondescript box. In fact, it is so nondescript, we shall even give it a nondescript box label. There we are. And behind the nondescript box, of course, is none other than... Of course, you would have guessed it. There we are. We have Sherlock Altorio searching for clues that would lead to, of course, inevitably, the one and only behind the nondescript box. Well, it's self-explanatory. There you go. You can take a look at the picture and you can understand what I mean. All right. Thank you very much, Tori. I shall sign it in just a moment. Actually, I should turn the camera so that you get a slightly better look at it. There you are. You have Sherlock Altoriu searching for clues as to the missing stash of Tien Long, of myself, and of course it has led to the nondescript box and that who is hiding behind said box. There we are. This is for Altoriu. And Tien Long La. There we are. Thank you very much, Altoriu. And I shall set that aside for now. There we are. Alright, next up, in terms of our drawings, we have... There's a few of my patrons that have not yet requested their drawings. I'm hoping they do before the stream ends. But we have Jackal the Sergal next. Jackal the Sergal would like me to draw a bowl of noodles with my tail hanging out of it and horns poking up. Huh. Okay, well, they would like to draw me in my natural habitat is what I would translate that to. I shall certainly see what I can do. All right, well, in that case, I shall draw a bowl. There we are. And then we shall draw perhaps my horns poking out. There's 1 and 2. And then the rest is buried in a sea of noodles. Very, very thick, hefty noodles, of course. Perhaps we shall add some like seaweed sticking out the side over here. Make this a very wholesome bowl of noodles. There we are. We have like pieces of fake crab meat or whatnot over here. There we are. But this is a noodle in disguise, or rather a noodle in his bed. Yes, us bowl of noodles, we do enjoy our noodle bowls as very nice comfy beds, especially if it's nice and warm and brothy. There we are, and I shall perhaps give him a little Z. There we are. This is a noodle in his bed. It is, of course, a noodle's natural habitat to be in a bowl. It is their favorite place to be. So if you are eating a bowl of noodles next time, please be sure you are not accidentally intruding upon a sleeping noodle inside your bowl of noodles. There we are. This is for Jackal. There we are. And it's by Tien Long La. Thank you very much, Jackal the Circle. It is an adorable idea, and very rightfully so for a noodle dragon. There we are. I shall give you another preview of that before I flip to the next page. There we are. Next up now, we have... Oh, we don't want that one to fall off. Next up we have Silent Dawn. Silent Dawn, the stripy cat of North Carolina. Silent Dawn would like me to draw a bowl of noodles. It seems that many are in the bowl of noodles mood tonight. They would like me to draw a bowl of noodles. They would like me to draw a Jedi, a Silent Dawn Jedi, fighting a bowl of angry noodles. Draw me as a Jedi fighting an angry bowl of noodles. Interesting idea. Interesting indeed. All right, let's see how we can get this done. We have first a Silent Dawn Jedi. All right, here we go. We shall first draw Silent Dawn as a Jedi. There we are. We have the Silent Dawn kitty face. We shall give Silent Dawn his tiger stripes and some whiskers. There we are. And Silent Dawn, I don't know if you're there, but if you are able to, and Trottle is home, if you could politely remind Trottle that they have not sent their drawing request in either, and I would dearly like to draw something for them. All right. And now we have Silent Dawn with their lightsaber, and it goes psh. It sort of looks like a bad dragon dildo without the dildo part. There we go. And Silent Dawn shall be wearing the Jedi robes of Jedi-ness and whatnot. At least I think those are Jedi robes of Jedi-ness. I'm not quite sure what they look like, but we shall pretend they are Jedi robes of Jedi-ness. They give you +5 force. There we are. And the Jedi lightsaber goes bzzz. There we are. And he is fighting an angry bowl of noodles. So we shall draw a bowl of noodles over here. It's being tilted, unfortunately, because it is so angry that it spilled itself. And the bowl itself is angry, so it's all like, how dare you fight me? And then we shall have like several angry noodles inside it. So we have one angry noodle in here, and the noodle over here is all like, why'd you wake me up from stuff? There we go. We have Satanic Angry Noodle number 1. We have Angry Noodle over here number 2. We shall give another Angry Noodle over here number 3. Yes, all these noodles are extremely irritated that you have spilled it. And then we shall have number 4 Angry Noodle over here. This one's kind of like a disheveled noodle, unfortunately. Poor guy. He must not have been pulled correctly. There we are. We have Silent Dawn as a Jedi. Oh, and of course I cannot forget his tail. There we go. We have the Silent Dawn fluffy tiger tail. We have Silent Dawn as a Jedi fighting off a bowl of angry noodles. This is for Silent Dawn. There we are. Oh, that ran over into the other piece of paper. Whoops, my apologies. I'll fix that in a moment. And this is, of course, from Tien Long. There we are. All right, next up. We have Silver Gatomon with... Oh, my goodness. Silver Gatomon. Must you really? Oh, now I know what you meant when you said earlier that I would want to serve you some dye. Silver Gatomon would like Tien Long as a maid. They would like to see me dressed up as a maid. Now, surely no one in this chat, no one in this audience right now wants to see such a celestial dragon dressed up as a maid, do they? No one in this audience would even dare conceive the thought of Tien Long, a regal celestial dragon, being brought down to the level of a maid. No, we do not want it. Everyone's saying, yeah, yes, Nurk. No, we do not want it. I'm seeing all this yes, yes, no, yes, no. You damned kids. The nerve of you having no respect for... All right, fine. Just because you damn kids pay me for such things. Losing all my dignity that never existed in the first place. See, this is the expression I'm giving to all you kids right now. Cannot believe I am doing this. Why is it that I put myself through these things again? Someone remind me why I do this, aside from the fact that they are paying in order to make these inane requests, these absolutely horrific stuff of nightmares, putting me in a maid outfit, requests, and making me all, maid-like and all adorable, and they already call me adorable, and you kids are all like... All right, fine. I'll give myself a little bonnet on one horn. There you go. There's your little maid bonnet. Your little maid bonnet. There's for you, science. Silver Gato. There we go. We've got me my little maid outfit and little maid bib in the front, and everything must be frilly, and here there's so many frills that it makes me look like I'm a French maid. And of course a maid must have an apron because screw... There you go, I shall get rid of this, and I look like a very bow maid as well. There we are. That is your maid for you, Silver Gatomon. You best find yourself a nuclear bunker right now, because that's about the only thing that will save you from my wrath. And I shall draw my tail over here. There we go, and my tail is sort of like all disfigured and whatnot because it's so dismayed that I am a maid. It wants nothing to do with me. And I shall draw just a little something for you, Silver Gatomon. Yes. Here you go. This is a little something for you. And I shall say, this is from Tien. Some die. There we are. This is for you, Silver Gatomon. The nerve of you children. Silver Gem is how I shall spell it on this, just simply because I am running out of space and all that. Tien Long Huff is what you get, simply because of this complete disgrace to my name and my image. Huh. All right, fine, I'll add a feather duster, because you silly kids and all that. There we are. Here's your feather duster. What do you want me to do? Give you Febreze as well? Fine, I'll add a little Febreze over here. There you go. Here's your Febreze squirt gun thing, whatever bob you want. What, do you want me to add a Tide Pod for extra cleaning power as well? Fine, I'll add you a Tide Pod for extra 5% cleaning power. There we go. Here's your Tide Pod. I hope you eat that and consume it and get a whole bunch of cleanly dye and whatnot. Alright, I am going to expel this from my thought and have another sip of my grape juice before this processes any further and sinks into the depths of my shame. Alright, more grape juice. Give me this. And no, for your information, Silver Gatomon, I do not secretly like it. I very unsecretly dislike it. Damn kids these days. Alright, who's next up on the chopping block? Alright, we have Volt Ashcorn. This time around, I'd like to see you and Tien Long both enjoying this sake together to mark the anniversary of when you joined him down here on Earth, as well as ringing in the Chinese New Year. Well, at least that's a much more presentable and nice thought. Me and my big brother enjoying some sake together to welcome in both Chinese New Year and my anniversary of my Earth Day. Well, in that case, I shall just simply draw my big brother and I doing what we do best. There we are. So first off, we shall have my big brother on this side, being all big brother and all that. There we are. This is my big brother. And of course, my big brother has to have a bottle of sake. We cannot celebrate with just one brother drinking. So of course, we are willing to share on such occasions. Is my big brother, and then of course you have to have his little brother on this side. Dum 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 dum. There we are. And of course, because I am the little brother, I shall have a bigger bottle of sake than my big brother. Just because that is how little brothers roll. There we are. There we are. We have the little brother Tien Long with my big brother Tien Long, and we are drinking sake together to mark Tien's 4th Earth Day. There we are, Tien's 4th Earth Day. Ah, that's a very, very sweet sentiment. Thank you very much, Volt Ashcore. As for the Chinese New Year aspect of it, well, it is not quite Chinese New Year, but again, next month it will be. So perhaps I can carry over the Chinese New Year greeting to the next time when it would be much more timely for the welcoming in of the year of the Doge. So for now, we shall simply have it as Tien's 4th Earth Day. And then I shall put CNY next month. There we are. And this is for Volt Tien Long La. There we are. This is for Volt Ashcore. Thank you very much, Volt. Alright. And I believe we have perhaps 2 more. I believe we do have 2 more drawings after this, and afterwards I shall check to see if the other patrons have let me know of their drawing requests, but if not, well, we shall simply have to then move on to the draft of the story that I have written by Ronnie, my human pet. So we shall first see right now what our next drawing request is. From Varius Marshall, and this one is a very, very easy one. Tien decides what to draw. Well, I get to decide what to draw. That would be very, very tempting. There are many things that I could draw. But here's a thought that has stuck with me. Someone earlier in the stream asked if I was fashionable. So, perhaps we shall see what the audience's sense of Tien's fashion is like. So I shall begin with drawing myself all respectable and whatnot. This is most certainly not a trap for myself. Yes, this is me being very respectable. There we are. Alright, I have drawn a respectable me. Now, let's see what this audience thinks I look like when I am so-called fashionable. So I am going to quickly look at the chat and see what sort of fashion the audience imagines a celestial dragon has. And if any of you dare say a pretty princess dress, I will end your entire DNA chain. I'm going to wait and see. Altoriu says a tuxedo. Long Tien Quan says a nice black suit. I'll go with both. Why not? Alright, I very much am in agreement with a tuxedo. Very fashionable indeed. There we are. Giving myself a nice tuxedo. Dapper suit and monocle, and I see 2 dresses at least already. Oh, goodness gracious, you. There we are, we have a monocle, we have crown, dress, and scepter. I will not do the... You kids and your so-called dresses. I will do the crown and the scepter at least, but no dress whatsoever. There we are, and I have my scepter over here, which is all like scepting and all that. There we are, there's my scepter. And let us see. Alright, and well, someone said in tails as well, so I shall draw myself with some tuxedo tails. So in that case, I have turned myself into the Phantom of the Opera, also known as apparently the King of the Opera, with my crown and scepter. Alright, well, and someone else says a watch as well, and a Chinese fan. Alright, well, we'll put a Chinese fan in my right hand over here. There we are, we have a Chinese fan in my hand and a watch, apparently. We shall give myself a pocket watch, which means there's a chain over here. I have to give myself a shirt as well, if I'm wearing tails and whatnot. And Sariku says heels! Well, I guess because that's not a dress I must abide by, but the nerve of you. Alright, I'll give me some fashionable platform heels. There we are. Except, well, technically dragons can wear heels. Heels are actually an accepted part of the dress attire for a formal celestial dragon and whatnot. There we are. Alright, I think this is a very fashionable Tien Long indeed. There we are. Fashionable as one can be when either going to the opera or taking over the entire European continent. So, I shall label this for Warius. Thank you very much, Warius. This is from Tien Long. There we are. And I shall now proceed to, last but not least on my list so far, Yakisoba. And Yakisoba would like me to draw Tien and Yakisoba meditating peacefully. Tien and Yakisoba meditating peacefully. Alright, I think I can do that, as that is something that I find myself doing on a daily basis. Alright, in that case, we shall have... I'll draw Yakisoba first. I shall draw Yakisoba on this side. believe yakisoba is a panda, if I am correct. Let us see if I am correct. I do hope that I am able to do yakisoba at least some justice with my non-existent art skill. Alright, let us see. And yakisoba here has a top knot, very reminiscent of Japanese samurai of ancient times. There we are. And we are meditating very peacefully, which means that we look very, very calm, very relaxed, almost very bowish. Now, pandas are somewhat naturally bow, which means that, well, that sort of fits yakisoba's shape, which is good. There we are. And perhaps I'll give yakisoba this staff back here, very similar to my own, actually. There we are. Have a nice staff for yakisoba, and perhaps it's leaning against a rock back here with some grass and whatnot. There we are. And then we have myself. There we are. We have myself being at peace, inner peace, inner peace. And of course, I may not meditate without some fuel for said meditation. There we are. Oh, and we'll add the stripes on my face. There we are. And now we have a meditating yakisoba as well as a meditating, well, me, I guess. In that case, I believe perhaps I should also be leaning against a rock or something. I am old, after all. My back doesn't support itself anymore. There we are. So we have yakisoba and we have Tien Long meditating. And it's all like inner peace. And perhaps over here, yakisoba is imagining about, you know, like spiritual ascension. So they're just like, Om. And over here, Tien Long is thinking whether he wants a nice bowl of noodles or if he wants some fried chicken for lunch. There we are. That's yakisoba and Tien Long wondering what they're doing for the next 45 minutes that they're meditating as they meditate peacefully. There we are. This is for yakisoba. From Tien Long. Nah. There we are. That is for yakisoba. And so far, that does conclude the drawings for this current edition of the Grumpystream, unless I have any of my other patrons that have not submitted their requests yet and have commented since I have begun. And I do not want to open that window up. Let's see where my chat box is. I did not want to open that program up either. Dragons and computers are not exactly compatible. Alright, here we are. Oh, Trottle Bear is also here as well. Oh, Trottle Bear, I had asked Silent Dawn to relay the message for you regarding your drawing. Let me quickly double check your drawing request, Truttlebear. I will hope to complete it to a non-cringy level. Let us see what we have here. Truttle would like me to draw. Please draw a Silent Dawn tiger holding a giant magnum permanent marker over his head while he laughs maniacally as a Truttlebear gasps in shock. Well, that is a very detailed request and one that I am not surprised at whatsoever, I must say. But I can make this happen. I can make this happen indeed. All right, here we go. We have Silent Dawn once again, the fluffy, stripy cat of North Carolina. There we go, it's fluffy, stripy cat, and he's holding the Magnum Sharpie above his head over here. There we are, that's Silent Dawn. I'll give him a couple more stripes down here. Big fluffy tail as well over here. And Silent Dawn is going moo ha 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 ha. There we are. And over here we have Truttlebear. Looking on in shock. Give Truttlebear a nice shirt because Truttlebear is a respectable bear. There we are. And Truttlebear over here is going, wah! In true celestial fashion. So there we go. We have Silent Dawn with the Magnum Sharpie. Of course, he is going to create the stinkiest Sharpie in the world with it now. And we have Truttlebear going, wah! In reaction. This is for Truttlebear. Or for Truttle. And it is, of course, from none other than Tien Long. And that now, I believe, concludes the drawings for this month's edition, rather, of the Grumpystream. So, once again to all of my patrons, I thank you humbly for your continual support. And, well, the previous month's drawings at New Year's Eve have been mailed out in full, and hopefully you will receive them soon, and very soon you shall also receive these ones as well. But until you do, we shall return back to our regular camera. So, once again, if you would like to bear with me for a moment while I reset my position. So, watch out for the dark camera. Trying not to crotch cam as much as I can. Okay. Where are we now? There we go. Oh, crotch cam. Oh, goodness. No crotch cam. No pictures of the crotch cam, please. Very undignified. There we go. Much better. No crotch cam. And had a close call there with that one. Let me just move this over that way a little more. And perhaps a little more down that way. Alright, well, we are back once again with the Grumpy Stream, and what you have witnessed just now was, of course, the drawing portion of my Grumpy Stream for my patrons and whatnot. But now there is something that I do want to quickly go over as well. Something that is not yet complete, but perhaps with the help of, perhaps some of my audience, or perhaps a flash of inspiration or two, I may see the end to one day. Now, for those of you that were here earlier, perhaps you may have seen me mention something about a book that I had wanted to originally present for this stream, of course, but unfortunately my human pet not being able to secure one with me, he quickly found a way to appease me. And by that, I mean that my human pet had actually written his own version. The book that he was originally supposed to get for me to enjoy myself with as a midnight lullaby was Once Upon a Dragon. Now, of course, you can clearly see why I would want such a book, but unfortunately they did not have such a thing. So, now that I am left without the Once Upon a Dragon book, I had to request from my human pet for an alternative. And before I do, I shall quickly wet my throat with some more of my grape juice first. Cheers to you all, by the way. All right. Where were we? Yes, back to the thing that I was going to show my audience. So, instead of Once Upon a Dragon, my human pet has gone and started off on a little something called Once Upon a Long. And I have not had the chance to see it for myself yet, but I figure that I would do a very quick reading. After all, I don't think that he's gotten more than a few pages, but he has asked that I start going over and approving of what he has so far, and perhaps you will be able to help as well. So for those of you that are watching, you are able to have a sneak preview of what my human pet has been working on so far, and perhaps we can recommend what to add to it, or rather to take out in that case. But I have the draft pages here so far. It is not meant to be a very complicated epic, but it is nonetheless very fitting of a celestial long, is what I have been told. So the title here is, as I have been told, is Once Upon a Long by Ronnie Long. Once Upon a Long. And he's even added himself a little long noodle as the L in the long, which is quite adorable in my opinion. Alright, well, I'll give him creativity points for that. We are doing something of an editorial proofreading right now, so let's see what the first page holds for us. This has a good premise so far. It's Once Upon a Long. So, let us read this together. Here we are. Once upon a time, there was a Long. His name was Tien Long. I don't know what this scribble is down here. Can anyone read what the scribble down here is? He may have. I am assuming that he made some sort of error down there. But it says Tien Long now clearly, so that must be right. So once upon a time, there was a Long. His name was Tien Long. That's my name. He was known as the grumpiest Long there ever was. Well, so far I think that's quite a good description of who I am. Certainly so. I am confused as to what this error is right here. I'm not quite sure what. Bow? Is that what? Did he actually think that I was Tien Bao and then he scribbled it out and put Long? Huh. I shall have to make sure that he suffers for that one. Tien Bao, the nerve. My own human pet, the one that I entrust with almost everything that I have, especially my wine cellar and restocking it, he would dare put Tien Bao? Huh. All right, well, at least he scribbled it out, which means that he acknowledged that error. All right. We shall leave that as page 2, I believe. Yes, page 2 over here. Oh, that was actually, there was page 3 that was stuck to it as well. Oh, goodness. I do not like this flimsy human paper. It's not anywhere near the quality of Celestia paper. There we are. All right, here's the next page. And, well, apparently, the next page says, he was, however, happy when he had sake. Sake is the water of longs, which keeps them from being sad. I don't know what these two other errors are over here. There's one that's over here. I'm not sure what that is, and I'm not sure what this is down here either. It's, they seem to be, I'm not sure whether or not he was speed reading this or something like this, but, well, it seems that he was not very clean with his first draft. Let me show you one more time if you haven't seen it yet. So, yes, he was, however, very happy when he had sake. Yes, he was very happy when he had sake. Sake is the water of longs which keeps Tien from being sad. Yes, I think that he has captured my personality and the behavior of longs quite accurately. All right, well, I so far approve. Again, it's got a good rhythm to it, and you can dance to it. There we are. All right, well, this next page is interesting. I'll let you read this as well with me. One grumpy day, Tien discovered that his wine, the purest sake, was gone. Wait, what? Wait. Wait, what? Are you saying the same thing? Wait, gone? What? What? Gone? Is this why I was not able to find any of my sake this morning when I had looked in my wine cellar and thought that I would be able to enjoy some this stream? Well, I guarantee you that the next page better be then he won the lottery and could retire with all of the sake he'd ever want. Let's see what the next page brings. It better be what I had just mentioned. Oh, all right, let's read this together. It seems like a rather short page, but there we are. So he went on a rampage. Longs do that when they're angry. Well, that is quite accurate once again. Apparently, I went on a rampage because I was angry. The sake had been taken from me, and as you can see, there's a city being destroyed as the punishment. Oh, well, let's see what happens. Oh, and apparently, that's it. The end. Or the bend, or the end. I'm not sure what he's trying to say. The end. Until tomorrow. But, that was a rather short story. It was a riveting story. I have to say that the character himself was very capturing. He really connected with me. It's almost as if it was based off of a daily occurrences of me. But, I don't know. There seemed to be far too many errors that was X'd out or crossed out or something like that. I'm sure that it meant nothing, but it somewhat does worry me that there was no happy ending in terms of me getting my sake back. Well, I do have a personal idea. I will say, first of all, I have a great idea of how I could shorten the story. Here. I shall start from the beginning. I will omit a couple pages. That's one page I would omit. The second page I would omit. There we go. I will put that one over there. I will put this one over here. There we are. We don't need this page either. This one was not too important of a detail. There we are. All right, I have revised the story. I've revised the story. I have my edits that I shall suggest to Ronnie. Let's go through it one more time. Here we are. The story is Once Upon a Long by Ronnie Long. Once Upon a Long. All right, now. Once Upon a Long. So, once upon once upon a time, there was a Long. His name was Tien Long. Ignore that little part over there, the little scribbled out part. His name was Tien Long. He was known as the grumpiest Long that ever was. And then I dropped my little storybook. There we are. And then the edit that I made, I simply just removed some unnecessary details. So he was known as the grumpiest Long there ever was, and here's where I would skip to right away. So he went on a rampage. Longs tend to do that when they're angry. And then after that, of course, is the end. Until tomorrow. See, that is the edit that I would make to the book. It is very, very easy. All you do is you take out a couple pages and you have a much cleaner, much more concise book, and it gets straight to the point, which is what I like. So you have, once upon a time there was Long. His name was Tien Long. He was grumpy. He destroyed everything. The end. I like that much better. Perhaps I should maybe amend some of the wording and say there was, and so he went on a rampage and then everyone had some die. The end. Yes, I shall make that suggestion to my human pet. Well, we shall see what other suggestions the audience has as well. Kaz the Dragon says, "Don't you just hate cliffhangers, LOL." Well, I have to say that there wasn't a very, detailed or very elaborate build-up, but at the same time, I can enjoy the simplicity of that plot. But at the same time, it could use perhaps a little bit more detail on some parts, just not the ones that he had mentioned. All right, and Long Tien Kuan says, "Good night, everyone. I'm heading for my bed." Well, thank you for joining me, fellow Long. It is good to see you here. All right. And Jerwin Dragon asks, "Tien, how's Le Bob doing over there behind you?" Oh, you mean Le Bob over there, the French dragon who is constantly being French and trying to guard my wine cell and not doing a very good job of it? Le Bob is doing all right. He sort of just lays there. He's not one to talk very much, unfortunately. I've tried to make nice conversation with him, but he sort of just lays there and he's all like, "Look at me, I am Le Bob. Yes, I am le drunkard français. Yes, I am. Look at me." And not really anything else much. But, well, at least he does his job and he does it looking good. All right. And Daylith Score says, "Where can I get a copy of it?" Well, that is a good question, Daylith. Perhaps I shall have to talk to my human pet and see if he wants to do something further with it. After all, that is just a preliminary draft, and maybe he has an opportunity to share that long goodness, especially the last part where I destroyed everything. And Diokami says the rampage should be extended. I do like that as well. I like that suggestion very much. All right. And, well, let me see. Oh, there we go. I sort of lost my window there for a moment. Oh, I still have my grape juice over here as well. I shall partake in that. Cheers to you all, whoever is still here as well. Goodness. Well, thinking about what this year shall be bringing to a celestial dragon, there really isn't too much that I ought to change in sort of the way that I am doing things or the places that I am going. There isn't really too much change, and sometimes that is a good thing, sometimes not so much, depending on what you are, or who you are rather, and where you feel that you are in your current state of life. As a celestial dragon, especially an old celestial dragon at that, I am not inclined to be changing anytime soon, or to be doing anything extra special, or going out and about to new faraway places anytime soon, especially because of how difficult it is in our current world. But at the same time, I do hope that I can continue to bring something new, and I do have some ideas for the next month's stream, in fact, of things that I could be bringing new in terms of perhaps a special guest or two that I may have on this stream, or perhaps even a new environment, a new setting. And, well, I'll have to do some thinking on my part in terms of what the youngsters are into these days, because it is difficult for an old dragon to really connect with youngsters and what, all these memes are, and the eating of the Tide Pods, and, the memes flying around everywhere these days. I simply enjoy just sitting down and hearing all these people, just connect and socialize and soaking in the information, because at my age, I seem to blabber enough already, so I'll let the younger ones do the blabbering. And Kaz the Dragon says, how long is this stream going to be? Well, I can tell you the answer to that, Kaz. It's going to be Tien Long. Alright, I get it, that was bad. Yes, you can boo me. It's at that point already where I have to make dad-long jokes, except it'd more be like grandpa-long jokes. Actually, it'd be more like great-grandpa. Although, if you want to get technical, it'd be more like great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa jokes. There we are. And let me see right now. Windragon had a question saying, Tien, bring out Ronnie Long and that other dragon around you, asks Jer. Ronnie Long currently is, he's got his head stuck somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. But, there he is, actually. Ronnie Long is here as well. Ronnie Long is the other little Long that resides. He is not my human pet. My human pet Ronnie is different. This is Ronnie Long. Ronnie Long is a little noodle that has found his way into the den, and he's sort of just, he's just happy all the time. As you can see, he has the same features as a celestial dragon. He has the nice long whiskers, he has a fluffy golden mane, he has a set of golden horns. He is very horny, this Ronnie Long, yes he is, and, well, he is very packaged, or rather, he's travel-sized. All Longs are travel-sized. After all, noodles are very malleable, and he is no different. He could just squish him up like that, and you can then bring him anywhere you want. So that is Ronnie Long, and he sort of just dwells here as well. He doesn't really do much. Anyhow, this is Ronnie Long. Say hi to everyone, Ronnie Long. Hello, hello, hello. Now go away. Anyhow. It's moving right along now. And Gumi Bjorn says, more lucky long-faced jokes. All right. Well, I shall calm down with those sort of jokes. I know. Those are reserved for people like Uncle Kage to make. It's not in my place. I'll make the granddad jokes, not the dad jokes. The granddad joke is when, you sort of just, you're talking about the joke and you start talking about it, and then you forgot what you're talking about, and then, you sort of just, I'm talking about a joke, and then I forgot the joke, and then... See, that's the granddad joke right there. The granddad joke is when they fall asleep halfway through the damn joke. And that would probably be what I would be doing quite soon as well. All right. And Diokami says, very horny, of course. Well, you saw that one coming as well. Now, as a dragon, I am allowed to make the horny jokes, not those other beasts that have those so-called horns. Dragons themselves are the ones that are the keepers of the definition of horn. After all, you don't see many other creatures. In fact, you don't see any other creatures that have horns quite as regal as our own. And therefore, we are the keepers of the horny joke, so whenever we want to be horny, we will be. That's why we're dragons. And Silent Dawn says, home of flying plushies. I don't know what you're talking about. Those are all longs back there. Actually, I take that back. One is a long and one is a bow. So you've got the bow long flying. You've got hidden bow flying long. Or flying long, hidden bow. Yes, you've got flying long and hidden bow. There, that's what you have in this den. All right, and Silvergottamon says, I wouldn't mind dad long jokes if Tien was my daddy dragon. Don't mind me, I just had a shot of absinthe and I am not at all sober. Well, Silvergottamon, you can just take those thoughts of me dressed in a maid outfit and rub that thought all over your body. Actually, please don't do that. I don't want to think about that. Oh, goodness, why did I even have that thought? I am going to now drown myself in this glass. Thank you very much. Oh, goodness, that thought, oh, goodness. That glass tasted noticeably different after I had that thought. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, God. Please don't ever request anything like that for a drawing ever again, Silvergottamon. I do beg of you. All right. And Altoriu says, don't as the one on the case if his already missing wine. I won't hesitate to kick your ass. Don't as the one on the case if his already missing his wine. Altoriu, you're cut off. Yes, you're home go drunk. Yes, you are. All right. And Yoshiko says, maid outfit, question mark, hot. No, you are not getting a maid outfit. Not even for $1,000 donation to charity. Maybe 1,001, but we'll talk. Anyhow. And Phil Adler says, I like his first draft. Well, I shall pass your feedback on to him. Hopefully he will take it in good spirits. After all, it is not really a finished piece, but I am a dragon that is very much straight to the point. At least that's what I like to think about myself. And, well, straight to the point would be you skip page 2 and 3 that talk about, you know, the libations that I am trying to hold myself back from, and you just skip to the good part, which is page 4. All right, and, Silvergottamon says, oh, don't worry, the next one will be worse. Perhaps you'll find yourself with a mysterious black envelope the next drawing that you get, Silvergottamon, and that black envelope will be made of dye. All right. And Jerwin Dragon asks Tien, do you know the way? I don't understand what you're talking about. I know the way back to my nest, if that's what you're asking, but okay, thank you very much for the input. Next question. And let me see what else is happening. And oh fine, Mr. Grammar Police, there was supposed to be a after don't, and it was supposed to be of instead of if. Okay, Altoriu, well in that case, you are still able to go drunk your home. Anyhow. Volt Ashkor says you don't want to know what they mean. I will take your word for it, Volt Ashkor. After all, you're one of those youngsters, and if a youngster's telling me that I don't want to know, then it's most likely I don't want to know. All right, well, and Kaz says, you know, when I was at Further Confusion last week, I didn't see many dragons there. What's up with that? That is something that I noticed, actually. Further Confusion does not seem to be dragon-friendly anymore. And I actually have noticed this over the years. I have seen many, many dragons appear at Further Confusion in previous years, but no more. We had many, many figures that used to appear there, but now it seems to be, like, limited to just the usual ilk of fursuit species, and, well, all the dragons that I wish that were made present at Further Confusion were no longer there. So that makes me somewhat sad, and I hope that there again is a noodle uprising of some sort that will happen, and, you know, the entire fandom will just become an entire gigantic bowl of noodles, and we can all enjoy slurping one another. Well, maybe not slurping one another, but noodling with one Never mind, I don't enjoy that. Never mind, we should not be in an entire bowl of noodles together. And let me see. Phil Adler says the end to sake as longs know it. I don't know if that's like the sequel or like the ending final chapter of the books that my human pet is writing that starts off with that first one I just showed you, but it doesn't exactly sound like one I would want to read. All right, and let me see. Louis Lourdes Perez asks, how long were you a furry? Well, I would respond with that, Lourdes, by saying that I have not exactly kept a date or a number of how long I've been a furry. Rather, I'd like to imagine that we have always been part of this community, and we simply gave it a name. It doesn't even necessarily have to be furry. We could just simply be people that love animals. It could be, animal enthusiasts. We could be costume enthusiasts. We could be anything that we want to be. But in terms of being a furry, well, again, my Earth Day, the day I came down to Earth, was back 4 years ago on January 17th, 2014. So I have been on this mortal Earth for just over 4 years now, my Earth Day not being too long ago, and I've enjoyed my time so far here. My audience and everyone else that I've come across has mostly treated me well, and there are of course those few undignifying moments, but it's worth it if it means that I'm able to put a smile on your face or bring about some joy to an otherwise chaotic world. So I'll drink to that, and I hope you will as well. Let me see. Fernando Luis says, I thought something wrong was going in my account, or I was being shunned for not being completely furry. Fernando, let's take it from an old dragon. There is no such thing as completely furry, not even those that are doing it for a so-called lifestyle, and I will tell you why. If you are completely furry, that means that you would not even be human. You would be an actual dog, you would be an actual cat, a fox, a wolf, whatever your species is. And until the day comes when technology is able to transform you into such things, no one is completely furry. What you are is a person that shares similar interests in animals, and in particular animal culture that revolves around human characteristics. That is what we know as anthropomorphic. But regardless whether you are even a little bit furry or a lot furry, you are still welcome in the community, and I am glad that you are here as well. And that goes for the rest of you as well. No matter how furry you may feel, you should never feel that you do not belong. And let me see, and well, what color is dye typically, asks Phil Adler. I don't really know what dye is in terms of a color. I've always thought dye to be a color that's close to hot pink, because hot pink, when you look at it, just makes you want to die. So, well, hot pink is a pretty close candidate to my impression of what dye is as a color. So that would be my personal color. If I were to give you some dye, it would probably come in the form of a very hot pink punch or something like that. Perhaps not a punch, maybe like a hot pink straw flying at your face at 200 miles per hour. Yes, that would be my version of a dye. Alright. And I'm a furry since middle of 2009, but active since 2010. I became a fursuiter in 2011, says Paula Lycaios. Well, everyone has different start dates, everyone has different days that they consider them to be officially a furry, but like I said earlier, I am of the belief that we were always furry. There was no start, there was no end, there was just a continuum of furriness regardless of who, what, where, or when. Let me continue. Rick Roll Blender says, greetings from Australia. Ah, look, we have another Aussie down there. Hey, how you doing, mate? It's good to see you, eh? Yeah, it's really top of the morning to you, eh, mate? We have a couple of Aussies here as well. I believe that Altorio is still here, and perhaps Volt Ashcore, and maybe one or two others. Alex the Lion, I believe, is also from Australia, so it is a very, very popular area in terms of the furry audience that is here. Let's see what time we've got right now. We've got about 8:48 p.m. over here, so I would suggest that, or propose rather, that I continue until this glass over here is empty, as it seems that again we are winding down for the evening, and I do not want to keep any of my crowd from enjoying the rest of their night or their morning or anything like that. I know for many of you it is already early morning, such as it is in Singapore for my big brother. My big brother right now, it is about 9:48 in the morning for him, which means that my big brother should be going out and grabbing some of his best noodle, as we call it. And let me see. And Kaz the Dragon says, I did see Tyrion at further confusion, though. That was cool. Tyrion, who is in California right now, I believe. It is always a pleasure to see him as well. And Volt Ashkor says, plus you need to go to serve Ronnie all that die for the comic. Well, it wasn't as if that comic was entirely unreasonable. After all, he did capture quite a few of the common long elements that I cannot deny, such as wanting our sake and being grumpy and me being the grumpiest of all. But for that part where, my wine was missing, I will have a conversation with him on that, rest assured. All right, and let me see, and my big brother says already did, with a stuck-out tongue. Big brother, you are teasing me with thoughts of that best noodle. Now I am hungry for some and may very well go grab some after this. And 4Jix Fox says it's afternoon over here in Australia. Goodness, you Aussies are multiplying. It is absolutely positive that you are just slowly invading my stream and Canada, in fact. So I best keep up my guard in terms of the Australian invasion, because they're gonna come at us with 8-headed serpents and like 6-legged kangaroos and koala bears that will maul your face and whatnot. Let me see. And go for amaze a noodle, says my big brother. Amaze a noodles. Oh, goodness gracious. I wish that I had such a remotely a close thing as amaze a noodles over here. Big brother, you must send some from Singapore to me. And Silver Gatamon says, notices the time the Dragon Show is making an announcement in 9 minutes. I'll need to switch over soon. Oh, I completely forgot. The Dragon Show is also on this evening. Is that so? Well, in that case, I do not want to impede on the Dragon Show. After all, the Dragon Show being comprised of Alkali Bismuth, Xander the Ferret, and or Xander the Dragon rather. Alkali is the ferret, but Alkali Bismuth, Xander the Dragon, and many others in their cast. They are some of the most prolific performers that our fandom has, and I would be absolutely shattered if I ran over their show times. Well, in that case, I believe that I should probably finish this glass a little sooner than later, and then afterwards I would suggest that my audience go visit the Dragon Show. One of you, if you're right now able to, and if you would be so kind, would you be able to provide a link to the Dragon Show so that after the stream ends, which won't be for too long, you can all migrate over to the Dragon Show? As much as I would love to continue doing what I am doing, I feel really, really bad that I have a conflict with the Dragon Show, but at the same time, we are all fans of each other, which means we all support each other. And I have been rambling on and far too long tonight. So, in that case, I will take my glass and I will slowly whittle it down until it is empty, and then we shall transition to the Dragon Show. we are. And someone said, don't forget the drop bears. Yes, drop bears from Australia, where, you know, the bears drop from the sky and land on you with all 500 pounds of them, and then they're just like, oh, yeah, look at me, I'm a drop bear. Yeah, look at me, dude. Oh, and Silent Dawn has, I believe, posted the link to the Dragon Show. So, again, in just, how many minutes is it now? I believe it's in about 7 minutes. If you want to transition over to the Dragon Show, I have the utmost respect for those gentlemen and what they do, so I would not want to impede on their time. So I will wrap up within 7 minutes' time so that you may all enjoy further entertainment for tonight from some of the fandom's finest comedians, and, well, frankly, I may also go and enjoy the rest of my evening finding some amazeballs noodles, as my big brother says so, and perhaps snuggling that other bottle that I've got. You didn't hear that from me, by the way. And Fernando Luis says, Tien, do you know Monster Hunter? Well, I've heard of Monster Hunter before. I am not necessarily acquainted with it in terms of gameplay or having encountered Monster Hunter in my experience, but I do know that many furries are very, very into it, especially because of the monster designs and how big some of them can get. I'm very much a fan of big monsters, after being one myself, of course, and therefore I am sure that it is of the utmost highest quality. And Gumi Bjorn says Dragon Show is here, but beaten by a mile by Silent Dawn. Well, Gumi Bjorn, it's the thought that counts, so thank you as well. And Fernando Luis says, most of the creatures are dragons. Most of the creatures are dragons. There we are. Most of the creatures are dragons, and that is something that I highly approve of again. And, well, if they are all big and, you know, snarly and go stomp, then I am very much in approval. Alright, well, in that case, just to give some buffer time between the Dragon Show and this show, I shall quickly finish my glass of wine and perhaps answer one or two final thoughts or questions from my audience, and afterwards I think we shall all make that transition over. For making the New Year's resolution to cut down on the rice and all the starchiness and switch over to grapes and all their fruitiness, it's not bad whatsoever. I'll tell you right now, perhaps this year might be better than those that we have faced in the past too, but again, we have just begun this year, and who knows what the future may hold. Perhaps we'll have false alarms ringing around the world tomorrow. Perhaps we may just strike upon some sort of historic world peace tomorrow, but nevertheless, again, we all should just enjoy ourselves, focus on enjoying ourselves, and focus on helping others do the same, no matter where we are in this chaotic time. Well, in that case, I do not want to, again, stretch out any further, especially with the impending Dragon Show, and I know that many of you are fans of just listening to an old dragon ramble on and on, but I do highly, highly recommend you join the Dragon Show. If you have never seen the Dragon Show before, it is an experience. It is something that you simply must try at least once in your YouTube audience career. So, with that being said, and with my glass empty, I shall quickly wish everyone a wonderful evening. I hope that you head on over to the Dragon Show and support those wonderful cast of comedians over there as they continue to further entertain your evening or your morning, wherever you are. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Tien Long, your humble host, and I thank you for joining me for the first stream of this new year. I shall return hopefully soon, perhaps in time for the Celestial New Year, and we shall see what happens then. But until then, safe travels wherever you go, and I shall see you all very, very soon.